Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. Good to see you. We are here again for another weekly wisdom reading. Go ahead and trickle on into the room as you can. Get settled, get comfortable. We'll let this instrumental play a little longer. Come on in. Hello. Say hello as you enter the room. Talk to me, I talk back. Say hi, introduce yourself as you come in. If this is your first time joining, I am Mambo. I am the founder and facilitator of the Charm School Mentorship Program, Coven Mother of Vision Dawn Tour. I'm your weekly reader, and I'm a dope bitch straight up out of Oakland. Go ahead and pause this so you guys can hear me. Hello, and welcome. Hi, Bratal. Hey, Lisa. I hope everyone is doing good. Hope you guys are feeling good. Hope you guys are well rested. And if you haven't been able to rest this weekend, I hope tonight brings you plenty of rest for the energies of the week ahead. Your first time tuning in. Hold on. I'm playing myself on YouTube by accident. Okay. How do I get back? Okay. Hi, everyone. If this is your first time tuning in, hello, I'm Mambo Soleil. This is the weekly wisdom reading, also known as the weekly energy reading. This is where I just come through to give a little bit of insight about the energy of the week ahead. Go ahead, get settled. If you are new here and you made it your way here because you saw that I'm giving readings, I definitely am. My request is that you wait until after I'm done with the general reading before you ask any questions. But I do try to get to as many people as I possibly can. I am a little low energy today, so I don't know how many questions I'll get to, but I will do my best to get to as many as possible. Let's see. We'll go to Old Faithful. We're going to use Game of Thrones this week because I haven't used her in a while. All right. So I'm just going to jump straight into it, go straight into the general reading, and then we'll do the 3 other questions from there, and then I'll answer questions from the audience. Ancestors, justice, and master spirits above with me. Holy ancestors, please give us wisdom about the week ahead of us. What do we as a collective need to know about the energy of the week of August 18th through the 24th? Who do we need to be and what do we need to see about ourselves, our habits, and our environment in order to navigate any of the challenges, blessings, or energies we come across over the next 7 days? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Thank you, Bratal. Hey, Sinidra. Hey, Lavana. Hey, Aja. I'm going to do some clarification with Pulp Girls over clarify the 5 of Cups. What do we need to know about the 5 of Cups? Hey, Drina. I hope you're good. You've been on my heart recently. I figured. Yeah. As we go into this week, a lot of us, first of all, we're doing way better than we give ourselves credit for. I just want to articulate that. I want to name that out the rip. Many of us are finding ourselves in position where we're garnering a lot of favor. That favor is we're bringing us closer to the execution of some dreams, goals, visions that we've had for ourselves for quite some time. And even though we are making this progress, there is immense sadness for some of us because when we thought of these things, when we envisioned these things for ourselves, there are certain people that we imagined would be there with us, certain people that we wanted to see in our cheering section. And unfortunately, due to their poverty mindset, due to a variety of reasons, but mostly with them just not being on the same page or in the same energy as you, those people that you dreamed of sitting with you can't come. They can't be there. And it's really important that you focus on how far you've come, the gratitude of how you've been able to maneuver, and the growth you've made with your personal development around being able to call in and manifest for yourself. Focus on that. The more you focus on who can't be there with you, the harder it's going to be for you to celebrate your own wins. And here's the thing. If you were able to accumulate progress either on your own or to create new alliances, and you find yourself surrounded with favor from people that you didn't plan to be there, that's a blessing. That's a gift. And it is deeply important that you are able to focus on that gift instead of crying over spilled milk, instead of weeping over who isn't going to be there, right? It's really important that you make sure that your nostalgia is allowing you to express joy. It's allowing you to be grateful, right? Again, some of the things that we are executing, I'm getting an energy of where we are now is in a position that we once prayed for, right? We're in a position where we really longed for in the past as a younger iteration of ourselves, right? And the blessings that we've accumulated have to do with our authenticity. They have to do with our ability to stand in the power of who we are. Be in attunement with our beauty, our sexuality, our own personal power, right? A lot of our progress has come from the fact that we've managed to take really good care of ourselves, right? And that care of self and that personal refinement is spilling over into favor out in our communities, right? Many of us who have been exhausted are going to find relief, but with that relief, it comes from letting go of certain things, letting go of certain burdens that don't belong to us. We've been carrying blame and responsibility or shame for things that don't belong to us for way too soon. So if we can do the work of releasing these ties that don't belong to us, right? Putting things back on the people that they do belong to, delegating responsibility to who it belongs to, making sure that we're not bag ladies carrying old baggage into new chapters. If we can do that, then it'll be so much easier for us this week in terms of really being able to accept our blessings and how far we've come, right? Under the Six of Cups, we have the Five of Pentacles, which is poverty mentality. And I always think it's important to note that Five of Pentacles can be about literal poverty, but it's rarely about that. It's most often about feeling like you don't have enough, being in surroundings that make you feel scarce, being around people that make you feel like you can't move forward, that keep you stuck, right? And the reason why this is under that Six of Cups is that some of the people that we want, again, that we wanted to be there for us when we won, they couldn't be there because of where they are positioned in relationship to their own poverty mentality, their own understanding that progress is win or lose, right? Sometimes we can really, really be convinced that our wins don't matter if somebody's not next to us. And then those people that we long to have next to us don't want us to win. They want to keep us small. They want to keep us in low income. They want to keep us disconnected from opportunity, right? And the nostalgia and the attachments make it hard for us to see that. Don't go back to nobody this week, whether it's an old friendship, whether it's an old relationship, whether somebody's asking you to come back to an old job, because here's the thing, you will be returning to that poverty mentality. You will be turning to an energy of surroundings that only create deficit for you. And that's not where we are. We are in the space of being able to manifest what we want. We've worked really hard to position ourselves to where we have all the tools we need to create the reality that we desire. And if we've had to let go of people, if certain relationships have fallen away, if certain opportunities have fallen away, it's because those things were an impediment to our manifestations, right? This is under the Queen of Pentacles. Like I want us to understand that these are both cards of authenticity. The favor that she garners is because of her authentic nature, is because of her connection to self. You can't do magic if you're trying to take other people's energy on, okay? You really have to be in an authentic place. You have to be aware of who you are. You have to be deeply studied and trained, right? And we can't do that if we're focusing on the past and focusing on people that either we had to leave behind or who left us behind because they didn't want to see us excel. If we waste our energy crying over spilled milk, that is only going to make us sad and depressed this week. If we focus on crying over spilled milk, that will only make us sad and depressed this week. Be careful about hyperfixating on your losses because they will make it difficult for you to understand and see your wins, okay? Strength through authenticity, doing it scared. A huge part of the reason why a lot of us are thinking about the past and we're missing those people is because there's still a part of us that thinks we can't execute without them, or somehow believes that our wins are not as powerful if those people are not next to us. That is not true. And even if it is scary to do it alone, do it anyway, right? Again, I wish I remember where the phrase comes from, but I say this a lot, mostly because I need to be reminded, right? Strength is not the absence of fear. It's being fearful and doing it anyway, right? Go forward with your blessings anyway. Manifest your opportunities anyway, regardless of who is or is not there. Because if you don't allow yourself to do that, all it's going to turn into is you losing peace, you losing sleep, you allowing these losses to be a monkey on your back when that's not even where your material reality right now. And as we go into this next week is one of forward movement, of progress, of manifestation. And the only way that you can't see that clearly and be attuned into the moment is if you're focusing on the people you've lost, if you're focusing on the opportunities that were brushed away. Change a lot of times to set you up for progress. And so rather than mourning that change, be grateful for who's still with you. Be grateful for how far you've come. And again, I really want to go back to this magician. Magician is a really well-studied energy. It is a card of personal mastery that allows you to call in what you want. So be careful, because again, you are of this belief that the only reason why you've been able to make this progress is because of who was next to you, when those people were actually blocking a lot of your progress, right? So the purpose of this message is not so that you engage in blame or you try to figure out who was holding you back. That's not the point. The point is you should not long for anyone or anything from your past this week, because all that's going to do is make you misunderstand why people were moved away from you. And it's going to make it hard for you to understand how blessed and how far you've come. So to summarize, this is a week where you lay your burdens down, lay your frustrations down, all the blame and the shame that you're putting on yourself about who you needed to walk away from, lay that to rest so that you can move into this new chapter of new opportunities, grace, and favor with a clean slate. Because whatever you don't let go is only going to keep you up at night, give you a loss of sleep and peace that can honestly lead into depression. It can lead into depression. It can really warp your sense of progress. And we don't need that this week. We really don't need that. We need a clean slate so that we can focus on how far we've come with peace and with gratitude. Okay? That is the general message. Since the Queen of Pentacles is here and is represented by Lady Olenna, my favorite Game of Thrones character, I'm going to go into money next. Let's see what's in store for us during the week of August 14th through the 24th. Sorry, August 18th through the 24th as it relates to money. Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits, walk with me, elevated ancestors. What wisdom do we as a collective need about wealth, prosperity, and abundance as we go into this next week, these next 7 days? What do we need to be, and what do we need to see about ourselves, our habits, and our environments that create our current relationship with money, that create the experiences we have around gratitude? How does that set us up to have a prosperous relationship as opposed to a relationship with deficit? What do we need to know about how we need to move so that we are bringing in more than what we are releasing, so that we are not encumbered or burdened by debt? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. So you guys saw me shuffling. You know I'm not doing anything weird or strange. But the Five of Pentacles did fall out while I was shuffling. Watch your mindset this week. Your mindset shapes your relationship with money. It shapes not only your relationship with money, but how you treat your money. When we feel like we don't have enough, we waste more. When we feel like things are not going to work out, we stress, and that energy repels money. It also makes us stay in environments that repel opportunity. Be careful about how you think this week so that you don't find yourself in environments or around people that are only there to take from you or to drain what you have, okay? Now, I love the fact that we're going over this because what is very, very clear is that some of us are going to be gifted some sort of overflow or opportunity. Right? Six of Pentacles being a card of charity, also a card of money that comes from institution. It's very much about being gifted opportunity from someone who was once in your position or someone who just deeply understands your vision and what it is you're trying to do, right? They're helping you by giving you a gift so that you can focus on your acceleration without being burdened. And so I think that's a huge part of the reason why this Five of Pentacles fell out in the shuffle. We can't really take advantage of this if we're in this energy, right? If we're hyper-focused on deficit. Your fears, if unchecked, can imprison you and put you in a situation where you either miss out on this gift, this opportunity, or where you just can't take advantage of it, right? When the Eight of Swords reminds us that when we hyperfixate on our fears, we manifest them. We can create them. So this is not a week to worry. This is not a week to isolate. This is not a week to hide from opportunity. It is a week to charge forward with the deep belief that everything you want, you can have. With the deep belief that everything you want, you can have, right? And that means getting up every day, believing that it's not a matter of do you deserve or will you be successful. It's a matter of knowing that you will be and just figuring out the steps or the path you need to take for that day, for that week, etc. Also, it means that if you stumble, if you trip, if you, I don't know, bust a tire on a pebble or something, right? That instead of giving up, you look over things, you pivot, you move forward. Chariot energy is very much rooted in the belief that not only can you be successful, but that you deserve it and that you're willing to go after it alone if that's what it takes. Okay? Why is this coming up in a money reading? Again, some of you are deeply confused. This is under that Six of Pentacles. Be careful not to feel like the second that this blessing comes into your hands, that you have to spend it, that you have to do something with it, that you have to invest it. Seven of Cups is emotional confusion, right? When we get the Seven of Cups, we need to slow down, not move faster. And the reason why we need to slow down is because your emotions are not right. You can't see clearly. Does this look like the energy of somebody who is able to think clearly? No. Their vision is stunted. And a lot of the downloads they're receiving are not the clearest, right? For those of you who do divination or who do spiritual work, you know sometimes you get a download and you're like, Spirit, what is that? What does that mean, right? That means that you sit with the information instead of trying to run to conclusion. Why is this coming up under the Six of Pentacles? Whatever gifts you get this week, save them. Whatever gifts you get this week, hold on to them. This is not the week to run and make decisions with that money. Because again, your vision is not clear. And you can easily have regrets 3 months down the line, 7 months down the line, based on how you moved with this financial blessing. So this is a week where you get control over your emotions, where you get clear about your vision, where you ponder over how you came into your excess. It's not the time to run out and spend it, okay? Now, this is what I love. If you can move wisely with this increase, it does position you to have some stability in the future, right? The increase you get may not be very, very large on the surface, but if you can treat it wisely, if you can use it to sharpen yourself, if you can make wise investments with it, if you can use it to envision your future, it will position you for early retirement. It will position you for comfort. It will position you to be a wealthy person who lives a comfortable life. That's another reason why you don't want to run out and make emotional or impulsive decisions with whatever increase you get. Because how you treat this increase ends up being the difference between you finding yourself in poverty, 5 weeks or 5 months, 3 months down the line, and you being at a space of abundance where you are not only stable and prosperous yourself, but you have the position of being able to become the lender and not the borrower in the future, okay? Your financial situation will not be resolved this week, but the moves you make position you to be able to accumulate not only abundance for yourself, but abundance within community and abundance within your family. That's another reason why you don't need to spend this money impulsively, right? We overspend and we overshop and we impulse buy when our emotions are not stable, when we can't see clearly, when we have anxiety. But if we can just sit with the blessing and continue to work hard and move towards execution, then that will position us to get closer to building and accumulating generational wealth for ourselves, setting up a future for ourselves where we are abundant instead of moving from deficit, okay? So to summarize the financial reading, be very, very careful about how you think about money. Be careful about who, and this is not explicit in the card, but this is what Spirit wants me to say. Be careful who you tell about your money. If you find yourself with some increase, if you get that grant, if you get that loan, if you get a sponsor or somebody to finance your business, finance your trip, finance your endeavors, keep that to yourself. Keep that to yourself. Because again, there are people around you who don't think very wise about finances, and the way you protect yourself from that poverty mentality is to keep shit to yourself. This is not a time to run around and shout your blessings again, especially with the 7 of Cups, because that's how the money will pour through your hands like water. You're already not emotionally stable. You're already thinking in a way that is not very clear because of the emotions, right? We think that financial recovery or independence is just an issue of having access to more money. If your emotions are out of whack, if your understanding of prosperity is out of whack, then you can lose things very quickly. This is how people win the lottery and end up broke 2 years later or bankrupt 2 years later, right? So this is very much about learning to move with your increase wisely, not making any fear-based decisions around your increase, working hard even when the increase comes, right? Again, Chariot, if you get a blessing, that doesn't mean that you just sit on your ass. Keep working, keep going towards the goal. That is the difference between being in a 5 of Pentacles energy and being in a King of Pentacles energy, right? King of Pentacles is going to work hard if they believe in their goals, even if the money is not there with them in that moment. And even when they get the money, they invested wisely. They do wise things with it. Yeah, they are a little flossy and they like to spend, but not to the point where they're not able to take care of themselves, right? So just make sure you're moving from strategy and not from impulse around your money this week. And specifically, more than impulse, not from fear. Don't make any fear-based financial decisions this week. And if you feel yourself about to make a fear-based financial decision, pause and go back to your work. Think about something you need to do and execute so that way you don't go out and buy something. You don't lend to the wrong person. You don't waste it, right? Let's go to health and wellness next. Hey, Dulcinea, you're not late. You're right on time. Whenever you got here was right on time. And as you know, the replay will be available. So you'll be able to go back and look at the beginning. Hello, Josie. Thank you for joining us. Ancestors, angels, and master spirits who walk with me, and elevated ancestors. What wisdom do we need about the week ahead of us as it relates to our mental, physical, and spiritual health and wellness? Who do we need to be and what do we need to see about ourselves, our habits, and our environment that will allow us to treat our mind, body, and spirit, oh, Jesus, that will allow us to treat our mind, body, and spirit with honor. A lot is falling out. With honor. I may have to switch decks. Actually, I'm going to switch decks. She's too jumpy. I'm going to go back to Millennial Tarot. I know y'all are probably sick of me using Millennial Tarot, but Game of Thrones is a little too jumpy right now. Ancestors, angels, and master spirits walk with me, non-elevated ancestors. What wisdom do we need about the week ahead as it relates to our mental, physical, and spiritual health and wellness? What will allow us to have balance of our holistic care as we navigate the energies of the week of August 18th through the 24th? Who do we need to be and what do we need to see about ourselves, our habits, and our environment so that we can make the best decisions for ourselves and maintain balance of mind, body, and soul? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Whew. Thank you, JL. I'm glad that that was helpful for you. Hit those scale emojis, hit those scale emojis. Let me know that you're with me still. Some of these cards were stuck together, so I'm going to read them as though they are connected to one another. So the card that fell out while I was shuffling was the Three of Wands. Some of us are going to get the okay to move forward with some sort of opportunity that's going to take us into the future. Now, here's the thing. We know that the wands are about passion. They also represent the cardiovascular system. The Three of Wands, as it relates to health this week, is saying go ahead, do the things you need to do to get your body ready for this next opportunity that's coming to you. I don't know who has been applying for work, but I'm getting an energy that somebody's going to get a job. If not this week, then sometime soon. And that's why this Three of Wands is coming up. Some of you guys are about to get employment or some sort of opportunity after a period of stagnation. And it's really important that you start moving your body, start operating and adjusting your schedule to be in alignment with this new opportunity that's coming through to you. That's what the Three of Wands is saying. Have hope, even if you feel like things have been slow recently, right? In terms of spiritual health, some of you guys, some of us, I'm trying to get better about saying us in these collective readings. Some of us have really been struggling with hope. And the only way that we can really reignite our relationship with hope is to touch grass. I don't know any other way to say it. Get out of your head and into your body, right? Some of us have been really exhausted, and what started as resting in order to recuperate has now turned into hiding. It's turned into hiding and avoiding. A lot, and here's the thing. If this was the Four of Swords, I would say go ahead and get the rest you need. But because this is the Four of Cups and is coming right after the Star and the Three of Wands, the only way you're going to break the exhaustion is to increase your cardio. That's just the reality. The only way you can increase your vitality and break out of this feeling of being exhausted is to get up and do. The more you sit around and the more you just lounge and the more you isolate and avoid, the more confusion you are inviting in and the more you're going to stay in that stagnated energy. And a lot of us have felt really stuck and stagnated. We feel like we are on a tightrope. We feel like we are juggling things that are too much. And that is because some of you are. Some of you guys have taken on too many responsibilities, and these are responsibilities that don't even align with one another. What do I mean by that? Give me the wisdom, spirits. Give me the words. You are trying to juggle things that don't match. That's the tightrope. That's why you feel stretched thin like taffy. You're probably going to have to release something. If not this week, then definitely going into next week, you're going to have to release some responsibilities. That's the only way you're going to be able to achieve work-life balance. You're doing too many things. And some of the things you're taking on don't belong to you. And that's a huge part of the reason why you are dealing with imposter syndrome. So this is about learning a lesson about what it looks like, what happens when you fill your time with things to maintain busy. That's what I was trying to say. Sometimes the Two of Pentacles can represent the juggling and the performance of seeming like you have it all together, when in actuality, you're just really drained and you're really tired. It's only stretching you thin. If you feel like an imposter, it's because you're trying to take on something that doesn't belong to you. So rather than trying to take on things that seem impressive to other people, focus on what you care about, refine that skill set, and really, really focus on that, because that is what's going to bring you closer to the achieving of your goals. bring you closer to generational wealth, set you up for a financial future and for stability and good health in the future, right? Remembering that the pentacles are also about the physical body. Another message, part of the reason why some of you guys are in self-isolation and you're not working out, you're not getting the cardio that you need, is because, and I feel like I've said this in a previous reading, figure out the physical care that is authentic to you. It may not make sense for you to run out and go do CrossFit, but you can go swimming twice a week, especially if you like the water, right? Figure out what it looks like and refine that skill set for yourself, because that is what turns into healthy habits in the future. Under the Four of Cups, we have the Devil card. There's been a lot of overeating and a lot of over drinking to cope with your dissatisfaction. And that is a result of the overwork and the overperformance. You go out in the world, you put on a performance, you juggle these multiple responsibilities that you don't even really care about, and then you come home and you house a bunch of junk food and bullshit that's not good for you, and it's going to leave you drained. Or you have to smoke a whole blunt before you fucking go to sleep. Your vices are no longer helping you. And if you're honest with yourself, they weren't helping you in the first place, right? Reevaluate your relationship to your physical care so that you can release your vices. Because the vices are only going to start, they may not feel like they are of detriment now, but they will become in the immediate future, especially if it's marijuana or if it's alcohol. Those are the two that are coming through the strongest. I'm also getting sugar. Some of you guys are sugar addicts, right? The stress will make you eat like candy and things late at night. So be mindful of that, right? Those temporary pleasures may help you cope in the moment, but they only turn into deficit after that moment is over. So be mindful of that. Why is this coming up? King of Pentacles, again, the king of finance, but not only finance, of good physical health. King of Pentacles like to look good. They like to smell good. They like to dress good, right? It's hard to look good if you drink yourself into oblivion. After a while, that shit fucks up your skin. It's hard to feel good in your body if the way you cope with stress is eating a bunch of sugar and carbs. You may not fit your clothes the way you want to, right? I love weed. You guys know I call myself a pothead all the time. But if you smoke incessantly, it's going to turn your lips black. Your hair is going to start to smell like smoke, right? This is why the Devil card is coming up before the King of Pentacles. Really, really asking yourself what your relationship with your vices mean in terms of your physical body and the prolonged health of your physical body, and whether or not that's positioning you to be the successful, healthy, abundant leader that you want to be. If it's causing deficit, leave that shit alone. If you know that if you drink a shot or two or a glass of wine or whatever before you go to bed at night, then when you wake up the next day, you move more slowly, right? You're hot, you're dehydrated, whatever it is, that is an impediment to you being the strong, abundant leader you want to be. So to summarize all of this, again, very out the gate, start developing the physical regimen and habits that reflect the kind of opportunities that you want, because the opportunities you want are coming very, very quickly, right? That is the energy of Three of Wands. It's like those initial steps you have to take to get to the future you want, to get to that Four of Wands energy, to get to that Six of Wands dynamic, right? So don't wait. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready, right? If you know you've been applying for a lot of jobs and then most of them are going to require you to clock in at 8 o'clock in the morning, but you're not waking up until 9:30, 10 a.m., how is that helping you, right? If you know that you are going to be standing all day at the job that you are calling in and you're not working out, change that now so that you are ready, so that you don't have to get ready when the opportunities come around. But also ask yourself, if the things that you are engaging in are things you're engaging in because you want to be doing them, or if they're just tasks that keep you busy. Because that's being stretched thin, that false performance is a huge part of the reason why you have developed this unhealthy relationship with your vices. And these vices are functioning as coping strategies to help you deal with the imposter syndrome or the frustration throughout the day. But if you don't get that in check now, not only will it continue to prolong the confusion that is causing you to self-isolate or to disconnect, but it's going to start to have a negative impact on your body in the long-term future. Okay? That is the health reading. Let's wrap up with love and romance. So those of you who've been with me for a while, you know that this month the Ancestral Life Path readings are on sale. That's my monthly sale, is that the Ancestral Life Path readings are on sale for $75. Put in the comments whether or not you want me to. I know I want to do a discount on a reading for the month of September, but which one would you prefer? Would you prefer discounts on love and romance readings or discounts on shadow work consultations? Put it in the comments, let me know, because I'm trying to figure that out over the next week or so that I can begin preparing for that. But let's see what lessons are in store for us going into this next week as it relates to love and romance. Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits that walk with me, elevated ancestors, what wisdom do we as a collective need in regards to love, romance, and matters of the heart for the week of August 18th through the 24th? Who do we need to be and what do we need to see about ourselves, our habits, and our environments that will allow us to navigate our love relationships, whether romantic, platonic, familial, friend, etc.? What are the habits we need to sustain, release, or let go of? Sustain, release, or maintain so that we can have the experiences of love and romance that we want to have. Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Dulcinea says shadow work. Josie says shadow work. JL says definitely shadow work. Thank you. That's helpful for me to know. We still have a lot of planets in retrograde, so you guys are right. The shadow work consultations are probably more of importance right now. We have 19 people in the room. I do not have 19 likes on my video. So please make sure you hit like on the video. These are free readings, free wisdom that I give weekly. So the least you can do is hit that like button and subscribe if you are not already subscribed. That way you can get notifications every week when the weekly energy reading happens, as well as my other segments. I do the happy hour reading. I do the charm school lectures. I have several classes and info sessions coming up. So if you are not already subscribed, go ahead and do that. I love this. Love this for us. Love this. I'm going to pull clarifiers using Afro Anime over one card. Clarify the Three of Swords. What do we need to know about the Three of Swords? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. There is some sort of wound related to matters of the heart that we are having a hard time releasing. We got to let that shit go so that we don't call in another heartbreak that reflects that. Yeah. Card that fell out in the shuffle, 9 of Wands, wounded warrior, somebody who's exhausted, resilient, but fucking exhausted, right? This card, in terms of this reading, really calls us to figure out what it looks like to protect ourselves rather than continually priding ourselves on being in situations that we have to heal from. that we have to recover from, right? So what are the habits that you have as it relates to your most intimate relationships that you're repeating over and over again and discussing as a badge of honor, even though they're draining you, even though they're taking your life force, even though they're hurting you? What would it look like if in the Hoodoo Tarot tradition of the Nine of Wands, instead of celebrating your resilience, you learn to take that wisdom and protect yourself from it, right? I think that's a brilliant way to look at this love reading, right? Because whether we want it or not, whether we are open to it or not, love is coming to a lot of us. It's probably been a dry summer for some of y'all, but as we go into late summer, early fall, romance is really going to pick up. And our hearts are open to it, which is a beautiful thing. Because the last couple times I've gotten on here, I've been having to talk to y'all about being bitter Bettys and rejecting love, right? But right now we're in a space where our hearts are open and we're able to receive love. The love that some of us have coming into our lives, or that we are really nurturing and working on for those of us who are in relationship or situationship, has the capacity to become something that is really, really stable, right? Something that we can really build a foundation on, something that's really, really worth celebrating. A lot of us have a lot to be grateful for when it comes to love and romance, right? But the reality is that some of us, because we're hard-headed, we are bringing old shit into these new connections, right? And this is a week where we really have to evaluate and look over ourselves so that we don't do that goofy shit, so that we can put down the stuff that we really don't need to carry, right? And that's very much the energy of Ten of Wands. It's that final call asking us to evaluate, how much are we actually carrying? Are we capable of carrying it? And what do we need to let down? Mostly either because it doesn't belong to us or it's not going to serve us in our next chapter, right? And I love that this Ten of Wands is under the Ace of Cups, because these seem like contradictory energies, and they are. Your heart really can't fully be open if you are carrying the past on your back. And there is a danger around that. Again, that's how we keep finding ourselves in the Nine of Wands, right? We keep attracting old, dead situations over and over again. So the Ten of Wands is coming up on that Erykah Badu bag lady shit, asking us like, okay, what do we need to let go? What do we need to set down so that we don't mess up these new connections or these romances that are rekindling for us, right? And this is timely. This is spirit-led. This is happening for a reason. You're going to get downloads from your spiritual team over this next week. I'm saying next week, but the energy is giving me probably like 2, right? So between now and the end of the month, our spirits are really going to highlight like, hey, that's a wound. Hey, that doesn't belong to you. Hey, you need to release that. Hey, you holding on to that is why you are mistreating this person you claim to love. This is why you keep barking at your new girlfriend. This is why you keep snapping at this person, right? So listen, when you get those downloads and what spirit is pointing it at something to say, pay attention instead of feeling like you have to ignore it. Because here's the thing. If you can heed those warnings, if you can take this wisdom and information about what you need to let go of, it becomes the difference between you, again, Nine of Cups, being in this space of receptivity and gratitude, right? It's the difference between that and you cycling through another heartbreak that you should have learned from a long time ago. The first time you had that heartbreak in your romances or in your love life, it was meant to teach you a lesson. But again, because some of us struggle so much to let go of shit and we carry too much, we're not learning the lesson. We're just cycling through it repetitively, and it's keeping us stagnant, right? What I pull clarifiers over this Three of Swords. What's gonna get us through is hope. Some of you guys, even though love is about to pour into your life, attraction is coming. Someone is gonna show up that really, really wants to pour into your heart, pour into your cup. you have to work on your relationship with faith. Because if you don't have faith in love, if you're craving something that you don't have faith in, then of course you're going to navigate it from a position of being heartbroken, right? And how is the main way that you're going to express this? Through your mouth. You're going to be reckless. You're going to be fucking reckless. I don't know any other way to say it, right? Page of Swords doesn't fully understand the power of their tongue. They don't understand what they're saying half the time. They are really wise and they are agile with how they speak. But again, the pages are naivete. It's a lesson you need to learn. And some of you guys, and this is twofold, right? The page struggle around the Three of Swords is that some of you guys don't understand how you are replicating or repeating heartbreak because there's a naivete around how you talk about romance that keeps calling the heartbreak back in. You speak deficit over your love life, and Spirit wants you to stop doing that. They want you to replace that deficit that you speak over your love life with, again, star card energy, hope, faith in your future. Okay? Also, another thing about the Page of Swords is that it's going to take me a second to explain this, but Spirit really wants me to articulate it. You get into these new romances, and because you're sitting there again, 9 of Wands, with your fist balled up, ready for a fight, you hear one thing that triggers a memory from your past romances, and then you fly off the handle. Because that is a Page of Swords thing to do. When the Page of Swords feels misrecognized, when they feel unseen, when they feel like they are not being given acknowledgement for how far they come, they can get verbally abusive. They can get reckless with their mouth. They can bully. They can get mean. And so the way you save yourself from repeating a heartbreak is to let go of shit from the past so that you don't continue to read these things onto the new romances that come to you, so that you don't keep having the same fight over and over again. Let it go. Let your past go so that you don't project it into your present, and that does not stunt your future when it comes to love and romance. Okay? Hit those scale emojis. We are now at the end of the general reading. I'm now prepared to take questions from the audience. So if you are still here and you have a question that you wanted me to answer, go ahead and start typing it in the comments. And while you are doing that, I will give you updates on the things that I'm working on, what's going on with me. I just want to let everybody know that it's August 17th, which is insane. It feels like it was just August 2nd, but it is August 17th. So there's only 2 more weeks of the Ancestral Life Path readings being available at a discounted rate. So if you would like to get an Ancestral Life Path reading because you either have not had one or it's been a couple of years, go ahead and make sure you book yours while it's $75. After August 31st, it will go back up to its normal price of $125. So you have 2 weeks left to get a $50 discount on that reading. I see you, Dulcinea. You're going to be the first question I ask. I think you may be on your phone because you accidentally put your question down 3 times, but I see you, boo. I got you. I'm going to put your question up now because it's going to be the first one I ask. Okay? So again, Ancestral Life Path readings on sale for 2 more weeks. On Tuesday, I will be doing an intro session for my mentorship program, my Charm School mentorship program. If you are looking for support with learning about the foundations of hoodoo or African spirituality, if you want to learn the foundations of practical magic, if you want to learn about the ethics of how to be a priestess that heals other people in community, whether you are offering services to people or if you're just learning how to heal your immediate community, friends and family, things like that, Charm School Mentorship, my priestess training program, is for you. So join us on Tuesday to get more information about that. I'll also be talking about my study hall mentorship program, which is for those who may not be ready for Coven, but be here Tuesday, 8 p.m. Happy hour will also be Thursday, 8 p.m. I don't know what the topic is yet, but I've been enjoying doing happy hour. That's our pop culture reading. So make sure you come back Thursday for that. And I feel like that's everything. So let's go ahead and get into readings. Dulcinea wants to know what messages does, baby, I can't say that name, so I'm going to call him H. You want to know what messages do H have for you? Is this a spirit? Dulcinea, let me know if this is a spirit. Because I can't say that name. Let me know if this is a spirit. Ancestors, angels, and master spirits walk with me. I don't know. I feel like I'm cycling through a lot of decks today. I have an impulse to switch decks again. So I'm going to let Millennial rest. And then I'm going to get True Heart. Let me do True Heart for this one. It's a god. Okay. Ancestors, angels, and master spirits walk with me. What messages do H have for Dulcinea? Please, ancestors, if you can tap into the energy of this god, of this deity. Please pour wisdom. Ooh. Please bring us wisdom around what they want us to know for Dulcinea. Yours were shared. It's deeply appreciated. I see you, Josie. I see you, JL. It's quite a few of you. I don't know if I'll be able to get to everyone. I'm going to try to do at least 3 more after Dulcinea. And then once I'm done with those 3, I'll let you know if I have capacity to do more than that, okay? So just bear with me. Let me take care of her first. I'm gonna be honest, Dulcinea. I'm not pulling them very clearly through the cards. I'm gonna read the cards that came up, but I'm gonna do my best to pull energy from the candle as well. Again, this is not a deity that I'm familiar with. I'm feeling ancestral energy, but not a deity come up. So I'm gonna read what I'm seeing, and I hope that it makes sense to you. Be careful how you speak this week. Be careful how you speak these next 3 months. You may speak in community to someone in a way that feels domineering, not because you are being domineering. It's more about you've come really far. And just because you feel like the same person doesn't mean that the other people around you don't have hyper awareness around how far you've come. There are times where you are venting and it can feel like bragging to other people, which is a very Page of Swords problem, right? There are times where you are just venting or just speaking in general, and it feels like bragging to other people. It feels like you're trying to flex or sun them. I don't know any other way to say it. You are going to have to learn the difficult lesson that you can't take your problems to everyone. There are certain people that you can't communicate these things to Not because they don't love you, but because they don't understand. And it's always going to seem like you're bragging or you're trying to dominate them. And that's painful for you because these may be people that you used to get a lot of support from or commiserate with. It's going to feel like a deep loss for you, but it is not a deep loss. It's just a transformation, right? And that's energy of Ten of Swords. It's loss or the ending of something that seems really painful, but it allows you to pivot into a new chapter. Why do your spirits want you to know this? You are trying to maneuver like your old self, and it'll actually put you in a position where you lose favor with those around you, right? So it's really important that you take these next 3 months to really think about who it is you vent to, how you vent, and whether or not it's wise to do so in those spaces. Your spirits don't want you to do this in a way where you're hiding. I was about to cite a Cardi B lyric. I'm sorry. But she talks about that, and I hate that song. But in her new song, she talks about that, where it's like her failures seem like things that other people long for. And low key, that's the position you're in right now. You may not feel that way, but just because you don't feel that way doesn't mean that other people don't experience it that way. So you got to be mindful of how you speak around folks. I'm not saying that you have to stop sharing. It's not that simple. But what you feel like is just commiserating on your situation feels like a false flex to other people. I hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. I stumbled through that. But again, that's an ancestral message. I'm going to be really, really honest. I wasn't able to pick up on, I don't really know how to explain it to people. I can't pick up every deity. And some of that has to do with my bloodline. Not every deity or every God is going to come up for me. And sometimes if I try too hard to pull them in, it can cause problems. So I wasn't able to really pull on that God for you. I'm sorry. I hope that makes sense. I hope that the message that you did get made sense. Okay, you said good. Okay. All right. You said you said it was okay. You said it was valuable, so I'm gonna trust you. You said it was valuable, so I'm gonna trust you. All right. JL, what can spirit give me insight into when my business is going to take off? When am I going to get my first paying clients? Is there something I need to do? Keep the questions going. So if you are here because you want to get a question answered, go ahead and put it in the comments. I will do my best to get to as many questions as I can. If you enjoy this reading, if you're having fun, hit that like button. Subscribe to my channel as well. I do have my Cash App and my PayPal scrolling below. Love offerings are deeply appreciated, but they are not required, okay? So JL wants to know about her business. Ancestors, angels, master spirits, validated ancestors. What wisdom does JL's ancestral court have for her about her business? When will she see increase? When will she be able to start getting paying clients? Is there anything that she needs to do to accelerate this process? Any wisdom is deeply appreciated. Bertal says, that's why I love you, because you don't act like you have access to everything. You are very honest. Most people don't admit that. I don't play about God. I don't play about God. I don't play about spirituality. I'm a human being and I own that. I am a child of Vodou. I'm a hoodoo baby. And I don't want to say that there are limitations, because that's not an accurate or fair way to see it. But if I were to get here and pretend like I see everything, that would be about my ego. And I don't want to play with God like that because it's not worth it. It's never going to be worth it to me. Keep your questions going. Keep your questions coming in the comments. Once I'm done with JL, I will get to the next person. I know this is easier said than done, baby, but your spirits really want you to focus on gratitude right now. And they want you to focus on gratitude right now because you are still building. Your impatience is going to take away from the joy of the moment that you're in. And it's also going to make it hard for you to build a stable foundation for yourself, right? So the very first card that we have is temperance. Temperance is about meditative energy. It's about being in stillness that allows you to see things that are may not be connecting or may seem like they are vastly different. But in that ability to tap into both and be present to both, you can create something that is new, right? It's very much about being grounded like the earth, but in the flow like water. You have to be grounded in your routines while being receptive from the wisdom and the insights that you're getting. I assume you're doing free sessions. So the free information or the free sessions still hold valuable information. Use that information to ground yourself. Be really still and accumulate the wisdom that's coming to you right now. Because the accumulation of that wisdom is going to help you be at your best for when people start paying you. If you can do that, if you can exercise that patience and that stillness, your cups are going to start to fill. I think in the next 2 months, you're going to have paying clients. I'm getting 60 days. Probably shorter than that, but 60 days at the most. And it's really important that you move with stillness. Your cups are going to fill themselves. And being grateful for the pause, the what you're experiencing as slowness, being grateful for that is also going to help you be extremely grateful when the uptick happens, right? So moving with gratitude, because the cups are going to get full. You just have to move in a way where you deeply believe that. Again, Page of Pentacles, apprentice energy. You're still learning. You're still getting your business off the ground. And being attuned to the lessons that you are learning while you're in your page energy is really, really important. There's a lot of ambition in you. You are ready and you're hungry for what's next, but you're still building. So it's really important that you temper your expectations. But the card that fell out while I was shuffling is the Ten of Cups. You have good reputation in your community. People love you. They fuck with you. They want to see you as a part of their community and their care team, right? I talk about this all the time. I have a care team. I have a priestess that I work with. I have a life coach. I have a therapist. And with what you offer, people want to see you as a part of their collective chosen family that cares for them. So that desire is there. It's just about being patient in this next month and a half to 2 months while you figure out the final touches of setting up your foundation so that you can be ready for the increase when it comes. But with this Nine of Cups here and this Ten of Cups, things are coming to you. You're just in that uncomfortable period of the waiting, if that makes sense, JL. Hey, La Balin. Good to see you. I don't know how long you've been here. I'm just seeing you now, but thank you so much for joining us tonight. All righty. So I did JL. Bertal, I dreamed of 2 people I don't talk to anymore. In the dream, they called and was silent. Do they miss me or are they watching me? I love that question. Do they miss you or are they watching me? Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits that walk with me, my elevated ancestors. What can you tell me about the 2 people that Bertal dreamed of? Is she being warned about being monitored, or are her spirits letting her know that these people miss her? If it is the latter, give her wisdom about how she should navigate that. Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. The card that fell out in the shuffle is giving me yes, but I want to pull the spread first. Yes to the latter. They are missing you, but 1 second. Ooh, okay, and I know it's the latter because I want to cry, and this ain't got shit to do with me. But you guys know I'm clairsentient, and I want to cry. They miss you. They miss you. The card that fell out was the Six of Wands. So both of these people you dreamed about held you in high regard. Whether or not they expressed that to you, they held you in high regard. You are somebody that was influential in their life. You were somebody that not only did they see you make a lot of progress, but you motivated them to make a lot of progress. And so that's why they miss you. That's why you had to dream about them. You not being in their life is draining them. They feel your absence. It's a wound, right? The wounded warrior, Nine of Wands. So they feel a wound by not having you around, not having access to you. Okay. Seven of Wands. Now, whatever happened, this needed to happen. This needed to happen, Lord. I'm speaking like a 3-year-old. This needed to happen because at the time or in the present moment, you needed to stand your ground. You had to stand your ground, right? Seven of Wands. You needed to defend yourself. You needed to stand 10 toes in a very, very sorry, not sorry energy, right? And you doing that also, it means that it is going to shift. Should you choose reconciliation with whoever these people are, it's causing a transformation in that relationship. So however they played with you, however they took you for granted, however they challenged you in a negligent way, should you choose to reconcile, there will be transformation and there will be change within them. So consider that. But yeah, they miss your ass. They miss your ass, and I know that because I was starting to tear up. I was starting to tear up talking about it. I don't even know who the fuck you're talking about, but I was starting. They miss you, and your absence pains them. And I want to make it clear, with that Seven of Wands, you needed to stand your ground. So don't beat yourself up. Don't ask whether or not you did the wrong thing. It needed to happen. Sometimes we have to have conflict with people for them to understand that we are serious. And that's not a comfortable thing, but conflict is a part of community. Okay. You are more than welcome, Bertal. You know I love you down. Thank you for asking a question. More than happy to answer that for you. Let's see. We'll do Josie. Then we'll do Sanidra. If I have energy after Sanidra, I'll do one more after her. But I feel like I may need to stop soon. We'll see. We'll do Josie. We'll do Sanidra, and then if I can, I'll do one more. Josie wants to know, what can I do to get money, start my business? I'm ready to shift from working from other and work for myself. I got you, Josie. I don't know why I feel so jumpy around my decks today, but I feel like I got to switch to Afro anime, and I'm going to listen. I'm going to listen and I'm going to do it. You know what it is? I did a deep cleaning on my house today, and I took out a bunch of decks that I haven't used in a long time, and I feel like they're pulling for my attention, if that makes any sense. Spirits walk with me, my ancestors. What does Josie need to know about starting her own business? What is the wisdom that she needs about starting her own business? What will allow her to transition from working from others to working for herself? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. I'm gonna clarify with Hoodoo. Clarify the Five of Pentacles. What do we need to know about the Five of Pentacles? You need a lot of education, baby. That's just the reality of the situation. There's a part of you, so you don't like your job. I'm gonna be real. And it may not be that you don't like the work that you do, but there's something about your job you don't like. It's probably environmental because I'm getting Five of Pentacles. You probably just don't like the people that you work with. And your spirits need you to, you have, okay, Hangman, shift in perspective, paradigm shift. There's a lot about what it takes to run a business that you need a paradigm shift around. I see this a lot with other people, especially, it's going to sound like shade, but fuck it, I'm going to say, especially people that want to get into being a spiritual healer. It's really easy to look at having your own business as an escape from the matrix, right? And it's not that fucking simple. And right now, there's a little bit of a romanticization around owning your own business, and your spirits really want you to slow down, look at things clearly, have a paradigm shift, evaluate this with soft eyes so that you see it from all sides instead of seeing it as an escapist way. Remembering that the Hangman is about Pisces, right? Pisces can engage in a lot of spiritual escapism. That's what makes them the sign of the martyr, because they can do things that sacrifice themselves or put them in the eye of danger. And if you really want to start a business, your spirits want you to do it in a way that doesn't victimize you, that doesn't martyr you, if that makes sense. We have the Eight of Pentacles. There's a lot that you need to study about what it means to start a business. You need to research business loans. You need to research independent funding. You need to research payment platforms that offer capital. You need to research what it looks like to start an LLC. It could be that in your city, because there are some places where there are grants and fundings to start your LLC for free, right? There's just a lot of research that you need to do before you take on this endeavor. And so with the Hangman and the Eight of Pentacles, your spirits really want you to take the time to have the paradigm shift as well as to research, right? And they're asking you to slow down and do this because they don't want you to end up in poverty, right? They don't want you to end up in a situation where you're grasping for straws and you don't have enough. Let them guide you, because they're going to be able to give you wisdom and information around what the next steps look like, but also protection, right? Nine of Wands. If you jump into this too prematurely, haphazardly, in an impulsive way, it can really put you in a position where you are drained and you spend a lot of time recovering from debt. So to summarize, your spirits want you to slow down and research the thing that you're starting a business about so that you don't end up hopping in prematurely and victimizing yourself. They want you to research funding opportunities, Eight of Pentacles. So there are like micro loans, small business loans, first time business owner loans, things that you qualify for, but you have to do the research of finding them, right? And they really want you to slow down so that you don't, doing this prematurely and haphazardly can lead to poverty. And if that happens, it'll make you resentful, right? Because that's an aspect of the Nine of Wands that people don't talk about. That overwork, that exhaustion, that those wounds can lead to resentment over time. And that has, especially during the pandemic where everybody was starting their own business, people were starting businesses prematurely, they were not well researched, and then they got resentments towards the concept of owning a business when it was like, it's not the business's fault. If you would have just slowed down, you would have had a different experience, right? So that's what I'm seeing, Josie, is that they want you to slow down, research, develop a business plan. And here's the thing, I typically don't read the bottom of the deck for everybody, but I'm gonna read the bottom of the deck for you. You're wanting to do the right thing. Queen of Pentacles, the business owner, the businesswoman, right? The shopkeeper, the woman who owns her own. It's a very Tabitha Brown energy. So you are supposed to be in business for yourself. They just don't want you to rush into it, because rushing into it will be the thing that causes problems for you. I hope that makes sense. I hope that that was helpful for you. Let's look at Sanidra's question. Sanidra had a question. We'll wrap up with Sanidra. Sanidra will be our last question for the night. Josie said, I definitely feel like I'm trying to rush to get into it because I'm not happy at my job. Yeah, rushing it won't go well for you, baby. Slow down. Because you're supposed to be a business owner. And here's the thing, if you're supposed to do something, if it's part of your life path, then it's going to happen. There's no need to rush it. There's no need to force God's hand, but you can get yourself into problems by trying to do that. So just slow down, do your research, develop a plan. That's what's best for you. We're going to end with Sanidra. I was praying as I was hiking. I was telling my ancestors, I am whole even with thee. I make myself, well, then it appeared that the moon was a full moon, then a bus. Was that a spiritual sign? I don't know what that second to last. I make myself, will it then appear that the full moon was full, then but okay. I'm just gonna ask if what you experienced on your hike was a spiritual sign, okay? Because I kind of can't understand. Oh, okay. So you gave a different one. You clarified. I was praying on my hike. I was talking to my spirits. Then I saw the full moon, then hid behind the clouds, although we are in a quarter moon. Okay. Ancestors, even though we're in a quarter moon, Sanidra witnessed a full moon behind the clouds. Was this full moon a message about release? Was this a symbol or a sign for her? If so, give us wisdom into the nature of the sign. Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Yes, baby. Yes, it was. High Priestess. I feel like I've said this to you before. You have a lot of earth and fire spirits around you. So a lot of times you get your clearest downloads when you are in nature, when you are hiking, when you're in the woods, when you're by the water. So start trusting the things that you come to when you're in those processes more. And if you feel like you're struggling to trust yourself, then what you need to do is start journaling a little bit more after you take your hikes, after you go for your swims, things like that. So that way, once you see the synchronicities and the patterns that are being charted in your journal, you can trust them more, right? It is clear that you need to release and move forward from something, which is why you saw that full moon. The Chariot is coming up to say that you need to go after what you want and be clear about what you want. And even when life is pulling you in opposite directions, still believe that you are worthy and deserving of what you want. And that is further confirmed by the Queen of Wands, emotional self-confidence, right? Owning the room, owning your experience, deep self-worthiness and self-belief. So yes, that was a sign from your spirits. And I would love to see you, and we can work on this and talk about what working on this looks like, but I would love to see you trust yourself when these downloads come up. But yes, baby, it was definitely a sign. It was a sign. All right. It's almost 9:00, which means that we've been together for almost an hour and a half. I want to thank every last one of you that is still here. Again, if you did not already subscribe to my page, go ahead and subscribe. If you did not already like this video, like this video. My Cash App and my PayPal are scrolling below. Love offerings are always appreciated, but they are not a requirement. I will be back here Tuesday at 8 p.m. for the info session for Charm School. So if you're interested in learning more about my mentorship programs, or any other opportunities to learn and work with me, I will see you here Tuesday at 8 p.m. Patreon. We do have a new moon coming up this Saturday on the 23rd. The Patreon new moon readings, depending on your astrological sign, will be up by Wednesday. If you are not already a member on my Patreon, go ahead and sign up. All paid Patreon members get access to exclusive monthly classes. And depending on the tier you join, you also get access to the exclusive readings. I do different readings based on lunation cycles, big astrological events. Every time we have a retrograde, an eclipse, anything of that nature, I will do exclusive readings on those energies, and those are all housed on my Patreon. So if you are interested in not only taking advantage of exclusive classes, but gaining access to those exclusive readings, join my Patreon. Click the link below to check out the different tiers. Love you all. I will see you Tuesday night. Be good, do good, take care, stay blessed. See you in a couple days. Bye.